He's brilliant.
He is kind.
He is inspiring clinical instructor.
He is the enthusiastic clinical instructor.
He is a registered nurse and who already got his degree of Master of Science in Nursing. Our nurse educator is Sir Kenneth George Cortez.
Hello sir, good afternoon. I'm Alan and these are my group mates, sir. And we're here to interview you about your service in Pagkasisa College.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
As we witnessed, sir, during our stay here in Pagkasisa College, you're the one of the greatest nurse educator in Pagkasisa. So first, sir, may I know your name, age, and address?
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon for those who are viewing the video, because I believe you'll be making a clip
Yes.
out of this interview. And good afternoon to the instructor that you have. I believe it's Ma'am Apple. Good afternoon, Ma'am Apple. So, students, I'm your Sir Kenneth George Matalang Cortez. I am already 29 years old. I reside at Turo Drina Mercedes Isabela. And I've been teaching in a regular nursing school, or should I say full-time, here at Our Lady of the Pilar College of Nursing for about 4 years now. But beforehand, I've been into the review program of ILPCC since I graduated way back 2013. From then on, I'm a part of the teaching or academies of the nursing.
How long are you in the field of nursing?
How long I am in the field of nursing, since I already been absorbed by the College of Nursing since I graduated and passed the board exam in the year 2014. So from 2014 up to now, it's the service that I am giving through teaching. Okay, so I've been a review coordinator for a couple of years, where some of my fellows in the faculty were my students, like Ma'am Kizzy, Ma'am Lavrens, if you remember Ma'am Lavrens, and others who are teaching also as part-time of our department. So from 2015 up to this time, that's up to you if you'll count. Okay, so that's the long service that I gave through the
7 years.
OLPCC.
Next, why did you choose nursing profession?
Why I choose nursing profession? Actually, way back when I was junior high school, nursing was not really my first choice. Okay, I really wanted to be an educator, a teacher. Okay, but since on our time, nursing is really out louding, saying that if you'll be a nurse soon, you're gonna earn a lot of money. Okay, but in reality, okay, I didn't think so, that money really drives us to work. But other than that, I choose nursing, and I love nursing other than teaching. First, because I've learned how to manage, cure, and help other people through my healing technique, the nursing technique that we are teaching and us in the nursing school. And other than that, especially now that I am a nurse educator, so I am in the field of nursing where I can help others healing. And other than that, I help students to be a registered nurse also someday.
How did you become a nurse educator?
Okay, I became a nurse educator, like what I've told you, I love teaching. From then on, after I graduated 2013 and being absorbed in the OLPCC College of Nursing 2014, maybe it's the skill of not having stage fright and having the confidence to stand in front of others and have the conviction to tell them what you can share about the knowledge of nursing. So I became an educator maybe because in the layman's term, I'm madaldal. Okay? Way back nung pag may mga klase or group work, ako lagi leader, ako laging nasa harapan, ako laging nagsasalita. So it was developed. So that's why educating others is in my field of one of my specialties.
What are the advantage and disadvantage of nurse educator?
Okay, the advantages of and disadvantages of nursing educator. You know what? Just to share, when I was still in the clinical area, working as an ICU nurse in a private hospital here in the city, the disadvantage in there is that you work in shift and your body compensating from day shift to night shift, and then they're gonna put you again to another day shift and to another night shift. One of the advantages of being an educator is you work in a fixed schedule where you work 8 a.m., you'll go home and out for 5 p.m. That's one of the advantage. Another advantage I can see in the Philippine setup is that we earn at least more what we can earn in the clinical area. As you can hear from nurses, if you know one, in the clinical area, they are just getting a minimum amount of salary. But for us, in the academe or in the education side, we earn more than. We have different allowance like clothing, chalk allowance, and per day allowance, okay, and whatever it is. So that's another advantage, getting more in terms of the salary from the clinical area. Another advantage that I can see as an educator, in the clinical area, you cure, okay? You help people to heal from any sickness or illness. But in here, in the academic area, you mold, you shape, you enhance the students. Okay? Because as what I am telling others, soon that the students will be registered nurses and become successful in life. Their success will be our success also. Okay, so that's one of the advantage. Now, we'll go to the disadvantage area. The disadvantage area, if you are in the academe, workloads, okay, is one of the disadvantage. And like with the clinical area, you're done with your patient, you endorse your patient to your co-nurses, and that's it. That's end of their work. You go and rest without thinking anything. But in here in the academe, you work in 8 a.m., you go out at 5 p.m., but still thinking what you need to do for the next couple of days for your students. Okay, that's one of the disadvantage because it's one how it drain, okay, our minds, okay, thinking of students, teaching the students. Okay, that's one of the disadvantage. Another one is that though there are also work that you may find outside the country in terms of academe, for example, if you go Middle East, you may also be a nurse educator if you want to. But there are just seldom offers for nurse educator. Unlike if you are in a clinical setup, you may absorb immediately from other countries because what they are asking is a clinical nurse. Okay, so that's also a disadvantage. So those things are advantage and disadvantages that may see as a nurse education. Other than that, if you want and have the dedication to teach student, you're thinking more of the advantages rather than the disadvantages.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, what are the highlights and lowlights of nursing as a profession?
The highlights and lowlights. Okay, same as true with the disadvantages and advantages, but we're just comparing it to the other fields, you know. In being a nurse, okay, I believe one of the highlights that you may see, at least you have the knowledge about health. Okay, if someone in your family, okay, is suffering from certain illness or from certain disease, at least you have the knowledge, so you may help. Other than the family, your environment, the people around you, you may also help through the nursing skills that you have. Another highlights of the nursing profession that I can see is that we nurses is very flexible. Okay, they may put us in the different fields of areas of work and we may do so. There are nurses you can see in the army. There are nurses you can see in the BFP or the Bureau of Fire. You may see nurses in the BPOs or call centers. You may see nurses, an educator in the academy, the school. You may see nurses in the rural health areas helping community people. So there are a lot of specialty and fields of nursing you can work to. And that's one of the highlights. Okay, and like with the other profession, like if you are a police, all you can do is to be a police, but you can't be nurses. Okay, but nurses can be police. Okay, so that's one of the highlights. We'll go to the downside or the low lights. I believe there's no other low lights of being a nurse other than the salary that we may get in the Philippine setup. Okay? Compared to police, they're earning more, far more than what nurses is earning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I believe that's one of the lowlights. Okay, so but what I want to reiterate into the students is that don't just look into the Philippine setup. Though the Philippines needs a lot of nurses, as you can hear in the news, okay, that now the government is making move not to send nurses anymore to other countries, but you have to think of a better future, okay? And if you can find it here in the Philippines, go to other places.
Yes, sir. What are your achievements or contributions in your community or in the society, sir, in general?
Okay, achievements or contributions. Maybe number one is that I am helping others in our barangay. Just to share with you, I am the nurse in the barrio, as I call myself, because every time someone feels something, they go to our house, even though I'm sleeping, they're gonna knock me there and say, Sir Kenneth, okay, someone's asking for you. Magpa-BP, magtanong ng gamot, okay, magsabi na kung anong kailangan gawin in terms of health. And that's one of the contributions I can give to my environment. Other than that, I am also part of the Local Development Youth Council in the municipality of Reyna Mercedes, where I assigned as a health chairman or chairman for health. So I'm the one who managing health advocacies, health programs for the youth. Okay, that's in line with the local youth development. Next is I am also a mental health advocate. Okay, where I want to teach and to help other people in terms of mental health problems. Okay, helping others to cheer up when they are depressed, helping others to cheer up when they feel down, okay, with their mental health. Other than that, I am also an AIDS advocate, though I am not a how do you call this? Really registered as an health advocate because you have to undergo a lot of trainings. But I have a lot of friends who are AIDS advocate, where I advocate also myself, okay, to advocate others in terms of health. So I believe those are the movements that I've made to myself to be a big contributor to the health of the society.
Okay, sir. So the next question, sir, is what would be your vision for our current Philippine healthcare system 5 to 10 years from now?
Okay, the vision. You know, I've worked in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for a couple of months, where I took care of patients who are ill, especially pediatrics, who have a heart problem. And in there, how I can see how their healthcare system works. And as a Philippine healthcare nurse, I compare it how far the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in terms of health into our country, where I want to envision our country to have better healthcare facilities, better healthcare programs, like what we have experienced during the pandemic. Our healthcare system really down. That's why we suffered a lot. Okay? So for the 5 to 10 years, so soon I believe you're one of the nurses that we work to. Because the first year, 4 na taon na lang. Okay, magkakasama na tayo at may mga lisensya na rin kayo. That soon we'll see someone who is not thinking of hospital bills, someone who doesn't want to go to the hospital because they can't pay, and that we can see that hospital is not a threat, okay, but a help. That's what I want 5 to 10 years from now from our healthcare services.
Thank you, sir. So this would be our last question. What is your message to us students and future nurses in relation to pursue of our career as nurses?
Okay. I've handled a lot of students since 2015, but the only message that I am giving them is to strive. And what I want to reiterate to them is to get what we call STD. Okay? Sipag, tiyaga, at dasal. With those 3 words, if you embody it to yourself, you can be nurses soon. Okay? And I can't wait to see that. Okay? I can't wait to see you students, Pilarican students, to be a registered nurses. So that soon, hand in hand tayo, magkakasama tayo to fight against any diseases from our fellows and to all the Filipinos. And of course, outside the country also. So, magsipag, magtiyaga, magdasal. Yan lang.
Yes, sir. That would be all. In behalf of my group, sir, I would like to thank you for giving us this opportunity, sir, to interview.
Okay, thank you so much. And to all the watching, maraming salamat po.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you!